9 or 6.
Yeah, okay, we're live right now.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
I don't think there's anyone right now. That's true.
Hey, it's fine, it's fine.
I think people should join eventually. Okay, we're live for 10 minutes. I think it's alright. I want to check for someone who to like confirm we're like actually loud and stuff. They can hear us.
Technically, I could do that.
There's one player. There's one guy in the stream. I wonder if it's like in chat.
Well, you can hear you perfectly.
Okay, that's.
Oh, you can hear me as well.
Okay, good. Do you want me to pop you up?
Hmm?
Do you want me to like pump you up a bit?
Pump me up?
I mean, increase the volume of your voice.
Oh, no, I was a good volume.
Okay. I guess we're starting.
I needed to be more big energy.
Okay, we're starting with the quality top 5 predictions. I'm gonna let you start first because I'm on the left.
So I'm going right.
Yeah, we're gonna do the first. Like we're gonna like do the each position after each other. So you're gonna the first place of yours, and I'm gonna first place of mine. Okay,
Well, since I'm going to the Grand Prix, I know that it's going to be wet.
Yeah, there's a
apparently quality. It looks like it's going to rain qualifying. Not looking forward to it. Would much rather be dry. Hot.
Okay, you're on the grandstands, which aren't like.
No.
Oh. I guess you're bringing some kind of raincoat or.
So umbrella, raincoat, so on. It doesn't even matter because the first place is always going to be for stuff.
Okay, you put it into mine section.
God damn it!
You're on the left.
I also put the wrong thing.
It's fine.
Is it? Wait, which side is this one? There you go.
Okay, so we're putting the usual Verstappen pole position.
He's better in the rain as well. It just everything sucks.
When it comes to mine pole position, it's also Verstappen. So I mean, it was kind of to be expected. So like when it's 2023, you're not putting anyone else in Verstappen into first place most of the time. But from now on, it should get interesting. I don't think we have the same second place or maybe third. So, okay, you're next for your second place.
I'm going for a weird one, right? Let's see, the red of Ferrari. But I'm not thinking the third. I'm thinking
Carlos
Mr. Sainz.
Oh, that's
he's a pretty good strong contender in a few wet qualies.
Yeah, Sainz is pretty good in the wet.
He's pretty good around Silverstone as well.
True. He won there last year, right?
Yeah.
It was his
first
victory.
Chaotic race ever, but
yeah. Okay, my second place. Okay, I see. Which one do I have? I have a Merc because I believe this track should suit Mercedes more. It's like
I'm down for that.
Medium high-speed corners, so I'm putting Lewis Hamilton for front row for Silverstone. I really believe, like, if it's a wet quality on Silverstone, like, who's there to be for the front row other than Verstappen? I think it's Lewis 100%.
Reminds me of a few races we've seen in the past on Silverstone front row.
Yeah. Okay.
That would be interesting.
I mean, Verstappen Hamilton front row, I would be ready to see it.
It'd be competitive for sure. Wow. I do agree. I think the Mercedes is going to be a lot better around this track. So I'm gonna put in a cheeky Hamilton next up. I think he's strong around this track. I think it suits his style. And, the crowd's going to be behind him. Yeah. So I'm going to give him a sneaky third place.
Hamilton's a really good at Silverstone overall. Like, he's won here like 8 times.
Definitely.
Okay, now I'm going to pick a pretty bold pick. It's also like a bit of a spoiler for the later questions, but I'm picking Lando Norris for P3.
Ooh.
I think the McLaren upgrades in Austria show just a part of the McLaren speed. Like, they're especially quick in the medium and high speed corners. They were losing like the most of the time in low speed corners. And Silverstone is there are like no low speed corners. And if it rains as well, like Norris is pretty good in the rain. I believe
solid,
I believe the McLaren upgrades like can show more promise. So yeah, that's my pick.
I'm down for that. I'm down for that. Well,
Well,
I'm also going for a British for my number 4 pick. Never mind.
yeah, 4th place.
But I will be again the Mercedes this time. Russell again. It's a good track for him. I remember his top 10, getting in the top 10 for the sprint race in 2019. It was superb. But yeah, so I'm excited to see how well he does this time around. Didn't obviously do amazing last year, but him and Hamilton right behind the front row, I think it'll be an interesting fortune.
Yeah, Russell needs a bit of a resurgence, redemption after his last 2 weeks.
Yes, definitely.
Like the crash in Canada was really, and the Austria weekend was overall pretty bad for Mercedes. Like Russell was probably like the better driver by a tiny bit, like maybe, I don't know. They were pretty.
But Hamilton was dealing with his brakes the whole time, so
yeah,
I'd say
that's
so.
true.
Yeah.
Okay, my pick for 4th place. I actually don't have this block, so I'm picking a Ferrari.
Oh, okay.
It's the same Ferrari that you picked for the front row. It's Carlos Sainz for 4th place. I also believe Sainz is pretty good, Silverstone, and in the rain as well. So I hope for Ferrari being good actually this weekend. If it's not raining, I believe the Ferrari can actually challenge for pole position maybe.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
But if it's raining, it's just for stuff in pole position. That's
yes,
we're both counting on the rain and the quality. So yeah. Okay.
Well, my final pick. I'm going to join you with the Ferrari. I obviously think Perez is going to not get into Q1 because that just keeps happening. So it is Leclerc.
Yeah.
To round out my top 5. I think Alonso maybe has a chance to get there. I'd agree with Norris maybe. I'm not sure in terms of how well this McLaren is going to do, but I just think the Ferrari was pretty solid last week. I think it will obviously be quite quick. They'll probably all be miles away from Verstappen, but that's my top 5.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna check. Okay. I picked a different team for the whole top 5, so I'm picking Aston Martin. I don't think you think I'm picking Stroll. So yeah, I'm picking Alonso for.
Lancey.
I mean, the Lance slanderer has been he's been slandering himself for this season. You know, it's Lance Stroll hasn't really been a good driver for most of his career, but he has those signs of talent. But this season, he's like 2 kilometers off every race, behind Alonso. I don't understand if Alonso's this good or Lance Stroll this bad. I don't know. Okay, that's my top 5. I think the Astons will have a better quality in race, definitely. Maybe if it's dry again, I think the Astons and Ferraris may be better because of the tire changes as well. They're bringing some new types of tires that should favor Ferrari and Aston. So hopefully more competition for the Red Bulls, mainly for the second place because the first place is kind of. Okay, it's
basically a race for second place nowadays.
Yeah. Let's move on to the race predictions. This should get more interesting, I think. It's also forecast to be rain, but it's lesser likely. I think there's 30% chance of rain during the race.
Yes, the rain looks less likely on Sunday. I'd much rather it not rain, as said before.
Yeah.
But mainly for myself, not for the race, because it would be nice for the race for it to rain. But I just think that it's a foregone conclusion for me. It's always going to be him.
Yeah.
Disgusting, but
it's 2023. I understand.
He just,
Yeah, I cannot say I have any other driver there. Wait, so they put the P on the start excellently. Okay, I have Verstappen as the winner as well. The gap he's been building to other drivers, every race, whenever there's a wet or a dry race, you see Verstappen 20 seconds ahead of any driver. Yeah. With Canada being a little exception, maybe because of the burr in his brake duct.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, the race winner prediction is pretty boring every time for this season. So, like, okay, now it gets interesting. So we get the Formula 1.5 winner. Okay, who are we picking?
I love that. Well, I'm gonna go for Hamilton. I think again, it's just his race, or I've somehow managed to make it light up. But
Oh,
I just think
I wanted to do it like actually, I wanted to light up all these because they're like all light up. I'll try to like do it now. I did it before when I built the map, but it didn't stick in. Like, you have to put a text there before making like color. Um, okay.
But yeah, he's just been pretty incredible. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah. Hamilton is having a pretty good season. I agree.
He's having a good season. I just think this race suits him. I think it suits the Merc. I think he's going to get a lot of jostling for position at some points. But I think overall he's going to come second place. I think he is pretty solid in this race. I really hope the Merc brings good.
Yeah. It will be very good.
Speed.
Yeah, it would be cool for Merc to upgrade finally to like challenge. Apart from Spain, like in Spain they showed some promise, but it quickly ended up in the mud again. Yeah. Okay, for my second place pick, I also have a Mercedes driver, and it's also Lewis Hamilton.
There you go. I thought so. We're very.
I couldn't see anyone else on the second place, to be honest. Like, unless they have another cops moment. I don't know. Other than that, I don't think anyone's beating these two in Silverstone this week.
I think it's very much there.
Also, if it rains, it also confirms these top two because like those two are the most exceptional drivers in the rain, probably.
Yeah, I think it'll be very, very good to see. I think it's gonna be a race. It's gonna be a race,
Yeah.
but yeah.
One of the races, yeah. Okay.
I think Hamilton's superb.
How the pink block for a second?
I've just been doing this, yeah. I've been changing it around. I've been trying to keep you guessing.
Okay, I have no idea who you're putting for the third place. Could be anyone.
I'm gonna put Paris.
Okay.
I do think he's gonna start low, but I just think that Red Bull's just too quick.
No.
Especially, I think it's going to be even quicker around this race. I think it's going to be decent amount. Hamilton's going to be away, but yeah, Paris for me, going to sneak in that third place position. I think it's going to be a lot closer than it has been recently, where he's been having to run through the field. I just think Silverstone's way too easy to run via, and with that with that Red Bull, with that DRS, there's so many good spots.
Yeah. You're right. Paris is probably getting on the podium unless it. I mean, if there's a rainy race, which I'm counting for, as my pick for the podium. I'm keeping the McLaren there of Lando Norris.
Okay. Oh wow, I like that one.
I really hope for a rainy race, and if there's rain, I think the top three should stay the same, unless there's like a lap one tangle. They're fighting into the first 3 or 4 turns. I don't know, like up until the first straight. Like there's a lot of opportunities to fight on the first lap. But I don't think this top 3 is changing. Like if it rains, I think this top 3 is staying like miles ahead of clear of everyone else. Also, I believe that McLaren upgrades should work better on this track as well.
Okay.
Also, Piastri is getting the upgrades as well, so hopefully the McLarens have a good weekend.
That might be really good. Well.
Okay.
Again, I'm going for another British boy. It is Russell again, though.
Okay.
I think he's pretty solid. I think, again, this race suits him. The British crowd is going to be behind him. I think we're going to get a lot of support for Russell this race. I think that it's a big one for him. He needs to do well, but I think he can put down the gauntlet.
Yeah, solid pick. Okay. Yeah, I think Russell's gonna have a decent weekend. Not the best ones he's ever had, but a decent one. Like a better one than Canada for sure.
Definitely,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay. AC or Mercedes Red Bull checkerboard? Okay,
Well, you know.
I gotta break it again because I'm picking the 14 there. Aston Martin or Alonso.
Ooh, you are going different colors throughout. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I'm picking the Ferrari for Carlos Sainz to drop down. I don't know if it's gonna be because of the Ferrari's race pace, which isn't the best this season, or just Sainz luck. To be honest, like Sainz has one of the worst luck like out of any driver. Whenever there's like a rainy race or something, like it's always getting always getting like knocked out or like he's getting so spun out or something. Like I always see Sainz in the growls.
I can't lie. I'm not expecting the Ferraris to do well in the race.
That's what my prediction is based on.
I also think, small little prediction, I think Perez is going to overtake Russell on the final few laps.
Oh,
I think that's what we're going to see.
Yeah.
But my final prediction for the top 5, I'm going to go with Norris as well. I think, again, nice. It's maybe deluded, maybe the hope that the British crowd will be behind them. I do think the McLaren is fast. I think it's faster in the race. The qualifying, obviously over the season it's been a lot faster in qualifying, but yes, last week I think honestly I think it was faster in the race. So not the sprint.
The sprint was wet, to be honest. I kind of like to blaze the pace from the sprint too much. Like you see Hulkenberg in P2 for half the sprint.
Yes,
like the Haas has like the worst race pace on the grid, and he could.
Well, it's high as just.
Yeah, he actually pulled out like a gap from Perez like 3 seconds before his tires died.
Yes, yeah.
Like Hulkenberg had a pretty good weekend last time, but I don't think he's gonna get top 5 in this race. I'm actually picking Perez in the top 5.
There you go.
Because I don't see...
You've made a nice sandwich.
Yeah, I don't see the Red Bull being out of the top 5 in this weekend. Like, I think the car, the Red Bull, I think the RB19 it's called, right? Okay, this car, this year's Red Bull is just... It's unreal. Like, you can compare this track to Barcelona. Like, the Red Bull in the Barcelona was like miles clear of anyone else. Like, the closest one was like Sainz. It was like 6 tenths in the quali. That was the closest anyone ever got to like the first stop in the Red Bull. I think the similar scenario is in this track, except I think the Ferraris are gonna be pretty abysmal in the race.
Yes, same. I'd love to have faith in them, but I don't know. I think they're very well suited to Austria. Whether or not they're suited to the Silverstone, I don't fully believe. But hopefully they can prove us wrong. Yeah, it's. I think it'll be a good race. I think Norris will be battling the Ferraris. I don't think he's going to be too high. I think Alonso might get in the mix as well. But
true.
The Aston's kind of been disappointing apart from Canada recently.
Yeah.
I'm thinking a few races. Barcelona definitely not amazing, and given that they brought upgrades, you know.
I think the upgrades worked in Canada, but last time in Austria, the Astons went nowhere. Like the actual race pace of Astons were like comparable with Mercedes. Like they were both worse than McLaren.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think this track will suit more towards the Astons and the Mercs. So yeah, hopefully we'll have some nice battles and nice competition for the second place.
Hopefully so, yes.
Yeah, okay. Moving on to the most impressive team. Yeah, this is quite subjective. Like,
I think given second and fourth, I think Hamilton's going to be quite a way away as well. I think he'll be towards the old Red Bull, but so I'm going to have to give it to Mercedes. I think McLaren have a chance with Piastri's upgrade as well, but yeah, just given this race, given my predictions, second and fourth would definitely be an impressive finish for them.
Yeah, I agree. Like Mercedes need some points after the last race. Like the Aston's like 3 points behind them, with Lance Stroll not being like when you take Lance Stroll's performance this season, like he has like barely any points, and the Astons are still like right behind Mercedes in the constructors. So Mercedes need to get some points over Aston.
Definitely.
Also, when Ferrari's catching up, I don't think they're gonna be quick in this weekend, but Ferrari's like, you never know when they're quick. Like, they randomly show up in the weekend and get pole position out of nowhere. So yeah. Okay, my most impressive team, I think I kind of like suggested with Norris P3. I think it's gonna be McLaren. I also think Piastri is gonna be in like top 8.
I think
this is gonna be a really good race for McLaren. I think they're gonna close the gap to Alpine in the constructors. I really think the McLaren is gonna have a good weekend. I predicted Lando Norris podium, which is I really hope for a good weekend for McLaren. They really deserve it after such a really tough half a season, or technically a season and a half, because the last season wasn't great as well. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Least impressive team for you.
So I was going through, you expect Haas to be at the bottom because of their tyre grading.
Yeah.
Alpha haven't really impressed, neither of Alpha, but I'm going to go a weird pick. I really just think the Alpine's not going to suit this track amazingly.
Interesting.
I think Ocon and Gasly are two of very, very good drivers, but I think Alpine have currently kind of disappointed this season, especially coming off last year. So yeah, I'm going to have to give them the least impressive. I think they're going to be in the lower half, especially come qualifying as well. So
yeah, I could see it. Well, Alpines are pretty inconsistent this season. Sometimes they're like up there with like Mercs, and sometimes they're like in the midfield. You never know like when Alpine's gonna be. I agree, this track could be worse for Alpines overall.
Yes.
It's a pretty fair pick. For my least impressive team, I do have this. Okay, I have this block in my. Okay, I pick the Haas.
The Haas, yeah, that makes sense.
The last race in Austria, what was that? Like, Hulkenberg qualified like P4 or something like that. Like the quick, the car's quick in one lap pace. Like when you take quali, like Hulkenberg has been putting the car in like Q3 every second race. Like he has more Q3s than Perez in the Red Bull.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the race day, the Haas is like after 5 or 10 laps, they're like gone. Like pitting on lap 11 for new tires. I don't really know what's going on. But their race pace is just awful. I mean, not just the race pace, but the tire degradation overall. Just, yeah, I think they're gonna have a similar weekend like in Austria. Maybe the Hulkenberg like is gonna do better because of the rain, but I don't see Haas being too good in this track overall. And yeah, I think the races they're gonna be the slowest team. That's my prediction.
I'm on board with that. I do think they're going to be the slowest team. I just think I've come to accept they're going to be the slowest team.
I mean, they got 19th and DNF last time, so it's
yes. In terms of my most impressive driver,
Okay,
I was thinking, Hamilton has done superb things around this track. You're thinking of is that Hamilton? Superb. Through comes Hamilton, my bad. And then just qualifying his first race win in Britain. That was incredible. The free wheels. The free-wheel finish.
Actually, one of free wheels. I think this is the only driver in the entire history of Formula 1 to win on free wheels. Yeah.
Even so, I'm going to go Norris as my most impressive driver. I don't think he's going to... I'm not going to put him too high in qualifying, I don't think. So I think he's going to come through and eventually come fifth in the end.
Yeah, true. I mean, if it's getting top 5 in the race, I think that's still pretty strong for McLaren, considering the season they've had. Like
definitely.
Yeah, they showed them in Bahrain with like one of the slowest cars. Like they were nowhere. I
I think they've definitely done a lot of improvements.
Yeah, like they're the most impressive team in terms of like improvements over the season. Like they started with one of the slowest cars, and now they're actually fighting like on the front. At least with Norris, we didn't see Piastri with the upgrades yet, but hopefully the McLarens have a good weekend. Norris for the most impressive driver. Yeah, I've picked Norris as well. I think that was pretty obvious from my predictions. I put him top 3 for both quali and the race. I think he's gonna be pretty good around the track. I think he's gonna have a really good weekend overall. Like one of the better weekends in his career. I know he's had a lot of good weekends, but I think this one will be one of them. Like one of his best weekends. He's just gonna be up there fight with Mercedes and Ferraris and Astons. Yeah, I hope for a good weekend for Norris. He really deserves a good car. He showed it last week. Like whenever he got a car and he could actually fight, he actually did that. He could keep up with the Ferraris, which are like faster. He could still keep up with the Sainz in DRS in Austria. It was pretty impressive. Like McLaren's race pace was really impressive in Austria. I really think if the rain comes out too, I think Norris has a pretty good chance of a podium.
Yeah, I definitely think so. If it comes down to it, he could probably sneak his way in, especially a good safety car here or there.
Yeah.
For him. But yes,
what was the last time we saw a safety car? I don't actually remember. Like we're having races without virtual safety cars, without safety cars and red flags. Like after Australia, it was like 3 red flags in one race. Like after
did we not get one for? We got one at the start of the last race, did we not?
Yeah, apart from that, like we
did Russell's crash bring out a safety car in Canada?
I don't think it was a safety car. It was like virtual safety car, maybe because of the debris. Yeah. Because he didn't stop on the track. He just made his way back into the pits and changed his front wing. I don't know how was that possible. Like he ran the half of the race with a broken car and then broke down in like the last 20 laps.
Yes, so, yeah.
Hopefully we'll see some more chaos this weekend, especially with the rain. Okay.
Definitely.
Least
impressive. Wow. I can't lie. I don't rate him. I'm gonna go Nick De Vries. What does he use? Does he use what does he use as his thing?
Like DV. Dev.
There you go. I've never been aware. I've just not paid enough attention, evidently. I don't think Nick De Vries is too good. I think he's got lucky with the fact in Italy he did fairly well, but I think that was kind of a fluke. Especially when he's being compared to Latifi.
Being compared to Latifi in actually competitive way is not a really good sign.
He's been destroyed by Tsunoda, who I do think is a decent driver, but I just think they should maybe look at alternatives. I think there's a few alternatives out there that they could get. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they did that mid-season, but they don't seem to be making any noise about that so far.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you, what performance would you call impressive from De Vries? Like beating Tsunoda or like getting points, or I don't know, because like least impressive driver, like considering like Alpha Tower is probably the slowest car right now. Like maybe with
I honestly think he's gonna retire.
Least impressive drag that for the Vries it must be like 20th in the quality.
I think he's gonna crash and then I think it's not gonna be a good weekend for De Vries.
Yeah. He has like 3 weekends to save his F1 career and he's not really been performing. Like even though the Red Bull openly said they gave him like a few races to save his F1 career.
I think, as I say, that's what I mean. Though, like I really don't think this weekend's gonna save his career at any point. I just think overall for me he has been abysmal. You know, he did what he beat Sonoda last weekend, but
And it wasn't really something to fight for. Like they both got like 10 seconds on penalties in the race. Like
yeah,
it was just.
I think he's a bit small.
Okay, one more
Sorry,
question
Sonoda.
about the Reese. Do you think he's gonna get replaced mid-season?
Yes,
And
that's my
who
prediction.
do you think is gonna replace him?
I'm aware they have the good, very, very strong youth driver who hasn't got a drive currently, but I will go for Ricardo. I just think they'll bring him in.
Interesting.
I think he also sells, right? That's a big thing for Ricardo.
Yeah.
He sells.
Ricardo's a really good driver. You're right. Like, Ricardo's market value is still like pretty big, despite him being out of the seat for the last year. Okay, for my least impressive driver, okay, who do I have? Oh, interesting. I don't remember why they put it like this, but
Ooh.
I have Valtteri Bottas.
Okay, I can get on board with that one.
Yeah, I don't remember why they put him there. It was just a random thought when I did these predictions. It's probably because I think he's gonna have a really bad weekend overall. I think he's gonna be out qualified by Joe, and then I think he's gonna have a really bad race for like Alfa Romeo standards, which is like 19th or 20th. Like he's been there for some races of the season, which is randomly in 20th. You don't know how, like Bottas 5 pit stops. Like what the hell is going on in Alfa Romeo?
I think he's been really disappointing as well.
Yeah.
Especially because we know there's something in there, right? He isn't a terrible driver. It's just not.
He showed in Mercedes like Bottas can be really quick on his day. This season is just really not impressive.
Yes, exactly. I would agree, definitely. That's a good shout. I think that's a good shout. What are you thinking? Are you thinking just a low down finish as well, and then out qualified, out raced by Joe?
Yeah, I think it's going to be out qualified by Joe by a decent margin. I think it's going to be a wet quali, so Joe is going to out qualify him by at least half a second.
Okay, I'm down on board.
Then in the race,
that'd be massive.
Yeah, and the race is going to be like at least 5 positions behind Joe.
Interesting. Well, I have a big extra bold prediction for you. Okay. I don't think it's that crazy, right? But I am going for a first lap red flag. I think. I think we've seen that in the last few races. Obviously, last year we had the horrible incident with
Guan Yu
Zhou, yeah. And then before that we had the also horrible incident between Verstappen and Hamilton.
Yeah, true.
So I think that could occur, right? That seems to keep occurring around Silverstone. But also we've got the prospect of the little protesters walking their way in. And look, they should be able to get on track. I don't know how they did last year is my main thing, right?
Yeah,
they
exactly.
had how did they last year? So I think that it should be the case of, they'll never get on track again because it'll be way more security. But everyone knew last year they were going to do it, and somehow they still did it. So it's a bit of a risk, but I think they're somehow going to find a way in. Otherwise, I do think there's going to be an incident. So yeah, first lap red flag for me.
Okay, that's pretty fair prediction actually. Like we had a first lap red flag in like last 2 races, last 2 British Grand Prix. So
yes, definitely.
Okay,
but I don't think they red flagged it until the second lap, the Verstappen one. So,
wasn't it a red flag?
I remember them going by again afterwards. So I think
it was like safety car and then a red flag. Like it was probably
they definitely safety car.
Because FIA in 2021 was just like they made so many random decisions.
Even now.
Yeah, I mean the FIA hasn't changed too much. They're just
last race with the millions of penalties afterwards.
I didn't need to sort out the last 2 turns for sure.
They need to sort out a lot.
Yeah. Especially 2021, like the FIA was just I was just not making sense at all. Every race was just stupid decisions on every side. Okay, let me check who do I have for what do I have for the extrable predictions? I have really interesting prediction that it's pretty bold. But, okay. No.
I'm excited for this.
Okay. This is my predictions. This is my prediction for Grand Prix. I think there's gonna rain in both quali and race, which is something that didn't happen for a long time. Like, hear me out. Like there's not a really high chance for rain on Sunday. I mean there is, but I really think there's gonna rain on both sessions, which is gonna make the weekend more interesting. I mean, I don't really wish you rain and to get like soaked. I don't really want you to get sick or something.
I do not want to get wet at all. I am taking an umbrella. I'm taking an umbrella for the heat
I have to take precautions. Like
Friday, apparently
it's gonna rain during the weekend for sure. I just don't know when. So, so like yeah,
I'm gonna be stomping in the mud. That's the main thing. I don't want to be in the mud.
Okay, I actually want to ask you, like, what turn you're like what grandstand are you in?
We are. Well, we're not in. So we're not in the grandstand.
Oh, no, like on the grass. Oh, like, I don't know what it's called. Like,
so last time I was at the like end of the circuit, not the very end, but the last section coming off the DRS. But yeah, that was a pretty good one. This time we are into Cops, which I'm very excited about.
Oh, that's a good place to be. Like, I mean, if there's an incident, which is, I mean, there was an incident in the last two races, so
yes,
maybe another Verstappen going off. I wouldn't be against it. Like, of course, I don't wish Verstappen any injuries or anything like that, but these cars are so like safe that we could afford a Verstappen crash and someone else winning.
Last time I was around between Vale and Stowe, but yeah, this time I'm into Cops, which I'm very excited about. Should get maybe some racing action. We do see overtakes on that straight, so
yeah, we saw overtakes in last year as well.
I love village sections, so coming out of there into Cops, it'll be interesting. I've got a little cornered off area, so we whilst we're not in the grandstands, we do have like proper seats. It's going to be hella busy though, so that's a worry. But I'm excited nonetheless.
Okay, yeah, I think it's got a general admission, like the ticket, right?
We have like a cornered off section, so we're not gonna like be. Because last time you have to get there super early on the Sunday to actually get a seat, but this time it's going to be little corded off. So we'll still have to get there early to get like seats up close, but it's not going to be too much.
I hope you're gonna have a lot of fun. I've been to 3 Grand Prix. I've never been to Silverstone, so I don't know like how the track operates. Like how is it like to be in there? I was in Austria like in 2019 and down in Hungary 2021, like the Bottas bowling. I saw it live. I was in the grandstands on the final straight. I saw it like live because I prayed for rain the whole time for the whole race day, and started raining like 20 minutes before the race. I was like so excited.
That was one hell of a crazy race.
Yeah, it was. I think I saw the next year as well. Last race, the first step and spinning out of the lead and still winning by like 20 seconds from 10th place in the grid. So like, yeah, last race it wasn't really as exciting, but hopefully I really wish you a really good experience. Yeah, I hope it's good. It's a good race. Maybe even not the first step and win. I mean, even if Perez wins, I think it would be that too not exciting. Like anything but a first step and win is exciting.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
But neither of us have predicted that.
Okay. I think we're gonna wrap it up, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna. I need to thank you for coming to the stream for my first ever F1 stream. I hope you had fun. I really had a lot of fun doing these. I hope we're gonna continue in the future. And again, I wish you the the best for Silverstone. I hope you're gonna enjoy the experience. So that I really,
thank you.
I know going to the F1 race is just amazing, and I really hope you're gonna enjoy it.
Me too, definitely. Thank you so much for having me. And
yeah, it's been a pleasure. I'm always happy to have you here. So, like anytime, even it's not like Minecraft, like anytime you can just say you really want to do some videos or streams. I'm always down.
Hell yeah. Okay,
I'm gonna close the stream. Thank you everyone for watching. If there's any viewers, I think there's like a few. It got 21 views this stream, so that's better than I expected. I expected like 10 people, so this is already better than I expected. So yeah, thank you again. Thank you everyone. Thank you AJ as well. So yeah, I'm gonna close the stream. Okay, the stream is